Yeah, well, big up DJ Jammers. You're tuned into the Jam Master Show on Bless Radio. Glamour Kid said that. Say,
See? Okay then, Jammers gonna give us the rest of the hour on the postcode. And as you know, Jammers is the words man. So Jammers, come true.
Firstly, I'd just like to thank everybody who was at the reparations yesterday. Dougie, how did you find it?
No, it was very good. I was down in Brixton. It's a nice day, nice chilling day. Met, there's some performers, artists, very, very lively. Some speeches and talk about the point of reparation that people to sign petition, give you information. So what they want to do now, get the ball rolling again and start organising for next year. But what's interesting about with this, that nobody can't say that we're not organised. It's a very organised event.
Yeah.
From security, from catering, from the management, from the financial side of stuff. It's a very organised event. So, when people say that we're not organised, or people not organised and so forth, I mean, yes and no, but, that was the last 5 years, I mean, probably there's some little tedious things I haven't seen, but what I see, wow, so, and what's interesting is that more and more people know about it now, I mean, there are people from Germany. They met these black couples. They're from Germany. A lot of people all over Europe coming over now. Jammers. So it's really getting. And this thing about one of them, BBC or ITV report. We don't. Listen, man, we don't need to rely on them because we got our own media now. Look at the thing, the smartphone. You know what I mean? I got a lot of messages from Facebook when I was coming down there, and then when I look at it, it says something about life, and bang, people talking about the reparation, and look what's happening. They show the energy and the buzz and everything, So, yeah, man, it's gone clear.
Yeah, it just shows what we should be doing, what we can be doing, what we should take confidence in doing, is that we have the destiny in our own hands and our feet, our own hands, and we can accomplish any feat, so to speak. The great thing I found about yesterday, or even at the courts with Abu Ratata, is that when we come together in mass, you can feel the spirit. You can feel, we don't really get that experience because nowadays there's not many like the parties what we used to have before, or any major events. But when we get together in mass numbers, there's an energy and there's a spirit and there's a comradeship and there's like a dignity, amongst us, and it's kind of sort of reminds us what we are as a people, what we really are as a people. We are the most peace-loving, spiritual, harmonious set of people, on the planet, but we don't support ourselves, we support everybody else. So hopefully now we can take steps from, what's been happening in the reparations march, and we can just get bigger and better. The power is in our own hands.
It's quite interesting because Jammers was at the first part and I was at the second part, So it's quite interesting that he's able to cover the first part and able to give a little recap. I wasn't supposed to plan this way because I said to myself, I wonder if Jammers going to be there. I know he's going to be there. I was hoping I would see him, But I know when I was asking him, he's probably on his way to work. So it's quite interesting that, and I was telling him that Bless Set was down there, you know what I mean? And yeah, amazing. And so Supreme chilling out. Quite a few people down there, man, in the square there, man.
Yeah, the Qatar Council was there, Nation of Islam was there. I saw Terry Riggs was there. Everybody was there. Leo Mohammed. Everybody was down there in full strength. In full strength, So yeah. Also, I'm going to give out once again for the Speakers Club. If you just join us, our Speakers Club event is taking place this Sunday, hosted by Brother Dougie and Lady Essie. Topic: swagger, arrogance, or confidence. The first part is: has swagger and arrogance replaced confidence today? Second question is: how do we become more effective speakers? So you can join our lively fun-filled discussion this Sunday, the 5th of August 2018 at the Bernie Grant Arts Centre, Town Hall Approach Road, N15 4RX. It starts, once again, I'll give you that address again, the Bernie Grant Arts Centre, Town Hall Approach Road, N15 4RX. The time is from 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. with performance on the topic by BAP Theatre. I mean, if you've never been to the Speakers Club, they're a fantastic organisation of performing actors, and they will act out the topic. So basically, BAP will act out the topic, and you, the audience, will have a minute to comment on what the performance and in relation to the topic, and there'll be prizes for the best speakers on the day. But it's all about sharing your experience in networking and coming together. We'll have Melvin Barrett will also be giving a presentation on the art of speaking, so it's a perfect platform for you to come and test your speaking skills. And we also have a celebrity panel with Dr. Abu Ratata. It's all going to be filmed by AV Media, and for information and tickets you can contact 07931 417 553. Once again, 07931 417 553, and that's once again this Sunday. All roads leads to the Speakers Club at the Bernie Grant Arts Centre. Tomorrow I'm going to be down there at the Inner City Crown Court once again. That's by the nearest tube stations is Borough and Elephant and Castle, supporting Abu Ratata from Galaxy. And if you can make it, it starts at 10 o'clock once again. It is taking place tomorrow. I think it's the final day, and tomorrow morning, so make sure you're there sharp, 10 o'clock. And once again, the nearest train stations is Borough or Elephant and Castle, the Inner City Crown Court, Abu Ratata and Galaxy. So make sure, if you've got free time, to come down there and support. Right. And also we're going to be having the Remember classes in September. Every Tuesday evening, higher learning classes will be taking place. Spaces are limited, so make sure, if you're interested, to book your space early. The number once again is 07931 417 553, and that'll be started in September. Also at the New Chances as well, there'll be etymology classes Wednesday evenings, started in the second week of August from 2 till 4. I'll be confirming the times next week, but from 2 till 4 every Wednesday there'll be etymology classes. So basically, this is the time for us to expand our mind, and I hope what you take on board. If you want to progress, the power is in your hands. You're tuned to Bless Radio right here on the Jam Master Show alongside Dougie. First thing that I like to say as well, I like to thank everybody who's been supporting the work that I'm doing in etymology. I met a lot of people on the reparations march, also during the week, who said that they've been inspired by the things that I've been doing. So I'd just like to say thank you for the community, for the support that they've been given here on Bless Radio.
You're in tune to DJ Jammers on Bless Radio, UK's #1 station for great music. Don't touch that dial.
There's a lot of people going around serving a sentence in their own head, as well as people who are serving a sentence in prison. Make sure you're not serving a sentence in your own head, because a tense means when you're tense. Intensity means when you're under pressure. You're under pressure by what goes in your mind, and you're sentenced by the sentence of the sentence, and you could be serving a sentence. That's why everybody is walking around tense. In England, I call it anger land, because it was first Angle, the land of the Angles, because they came from the Germans that came from a land that was linked to angle. Angle root word means bent or crooked. When somebody's walking with an angle in their back, that means their back is bent. It means their back is crooked. The original word for England was angle. Angle means bent or crooked. So when you come with a bent or crooked philosophy, it's not really England, it's Angerland. Because basically they're angry at somebody else who seems to be moving better than them, because they have certain melanin in their skin. So they are giving you words that make you form a sentence. You're walking around with a sentence. So stop walking around with a sentence. That's why everybody look tense. The root word of sentence is the word ten. Ten means to hold, because in the Roman alphabet it's the sign of two crosses, a cross. The cross means to hold you. If somebody's put across you, it means to hold you back. Everything is held in number 10 Downing Street. When you've got a pain in your foot will be tender. So if you're in a property, you will be serving a tenancy under tender. So basically the word ten is the root word that means to hold. And they have designed the language that when they say something, it's said in a sentence. It's said in a way to hold your mind in it and stop your mind being free. Because when your mind is tense, you can't think for yourself. You're using somebody else's sentence to think. There's 4 ways that they can make you tense with the sentence that they design with the spell of the word to make you tense. The first way that you can be made tense under this spell of the language which they have designed to keep you behind is by asking you a question. When someone asks you a question, you're no longer free to think what you want to think. You have to process in your head the answer to somebody else's question. A question really is an interrogating device, especially by the police or by somebody who wants to get information of you relating to builds or trying to search you to get something out of you. When somebody asks you a question, you're sent in a sentence by the question, because you have to leave what you're doing to go into your mind to process the answer for the question. So the first way that someone can make you tense is by asking you a question. Second way that someone can make you tense with the sentence that comes out of their mouth to make you tense is by sending you an emotion. Emotion, E means to put out motion. So when someone's sending you an emotion, they're sending you an emotion. They're sending you a feeling that comes into you, and now you become sentenced by the sentence of someone's emotion. When someone gives you a derogatory name or calls you, criticizes you, and you take that emotion on board, you become sentenced by the sentence, and you're sentenced by the sentence of the word of the sentence brought to you by the emotion. So the first way someone can make you tense is by asking you a question. Second way someone can make you tense is by sending you an emotion. Third way that someone can make you tense is by saying a statement, telling you that this is the way things are. They're putting your mind in a state by telling you you are not allowed to think differently, because this is how things are. State means state mentality. Putting your mental mind, your mentality in a state by saying this is the way all black people are bad. That's a statement, making you think in a way that somebody else has said, like the authority, like their view overrides anything that you come out. So you're sentenced by somebody sending you an emotion, you're sentenced by somebody asking you information, you're sentenced by somebody giving you a statement. So there's different ways that they've used the science of language to make you tense. Best way to stop being tense is stop understanding the words. When somebody comes in your area and they start talking to you with their sentences, just like if you was in France, you would understand what the French people are saying, then you are free. Switch off your mind to somebody else's sentence if they don't have your design at heart, and think about somebody else. Don't understand people's word, because then you stand under the words that people have said to you. So I hope I'm not making you tense with what I'm saying with my sentences, but now is the time to start to counteract the spell of the words that they put in front of you, and stop being tense and sentenced by the sentences that's running through your mind. Free yourself from the words of the design of the pen, because the pen is a holding device. It means crime, or it means punishment, or it means to hold. A pen means crime or punishment. Every time you see the word pen, it means you're punished or you're held in crime. Like in penitentiary, it's got the word pen in it. Penultimate means the ultimate holding thing. A pen is a child, what you put children in. So basically, suspend is something that's held up. A pendant is something that hangs from your neck. So every time you see the word pen, it's sending you tense, because it means a holding device. When you go into the shop and you see 0 pen, you get the word open, so you can go in and out. Inside the word pen is ink. Ink is also another holding device, because if you look at the word think, that means you're held by the ink of the pen. The pen is the holding device that gives you the ink to make you think from the pen, which is the holding device. And of course, you write in a sentence using the pen, which is the holding device that makes you think. When you follow the ink and follow the ink line, then you're inclined to do what is you're told to do by the inking at the pen. Incline means you're inclined by the ink line. And when you look for the inclination, so the inclination is you continually do something what you're told to do or dictated to do by the sentence of the pen. That's why you look in a dictionary. When somebody dictates to you, that means you've got to do what is said. So basically, you're sentenced by the word from that's put in a sentence coming from the dictionary, where the dictionary is when I send you a dictation. An addict means you move. Ad means to move. So advance, admire. The word ad is a prefix that means to move. So basically, addiction means that you're moving to the diction. You're moving to what somebody has said. And basically, if you've got sentences running around with the diction that somebody said, like you're an idiot, and you're listening to the sentence, you're sentenced by the sentence. Even if you don't think you're an idiot, you're trying to counteract the tense of you're an idiot that's running through your head like a sentence. So you're even sentenced by the fight that you're trying to do to counteract the word that's been said to you by the emotion. Or if somebody questions you, you're still sentenced by that. Did you understand that, Dougie? I think Dougie's falling asleep. So basically, we have to understand the power of the word, because these words is what is stopping you from action, it's stopping you from expressing yourself. It's a holding device. Every noun is a holding device, because it doesn't give you any instruction. It's just a word to make you think. And when you think about something, that means you are doubting, because if you've got to think about something, that means you've got to question what you're going to do. When you're going to question what to do, you're not going to actually fully process what you do. So it's causing you to be tense about what your next move to make. Like in the word doubt, you're going to do something, but there's a but in it. So basically, the way to overcome all of these words and the sentences sent out in the sentence that's made you sentenced by the dictation that's been sent, or the holding device of the pen that's making you think, is to stop understanding words. Stop standing under the words. The way to be free is when you experience life, you experience breathing, you experience doing something. Experience, listen to this, experience is a learning tool, because anybody who gets the big jobs does it through how experienced they are. Experience means to do something, it means to process something, it means to try, not try, because try is another tense word. It means to actually do. You're not really living life when you're going by somebody else's word that's sending a sentence in your head that's making you tense by what somebody else has said, and you're just processing by the word that somebody else has given you to process. The only way you can set yourself free from your mind is when you experience life. When you go outside and you experience your feet walking on the earth, you experience the breath coming in, and you experience the situations that are happening in front of you. Experience your friends, experience your children, experience the joy of life, the birds, nature, drinking the water, being healthy. This is how you get back your out of the sentence that you're serving with the words that's going in your head, making you think from the ink and the pen, following the incline, so you're inclined to follow the sentence that's been said, that's putting you in the sentence. So if you look at the word sentence, stop following the sentence. Experience a reality, because a reality means experience. Reality means when you do something. Reality means like the reparations mark, when you actually put something into action. When you're looking at a mobile phone, that's secondary. That's not a real experience. When you're watching like an incident that takes place on a phone, you are only mentally processing what is in front of you, but you're not actually experiencing it yourself. The amount of times I saw it in the paper, I think every 12 minutes we are now looking at a mobile phone. 24 hours a week now we're in front of a computer or a mobile phone, so we're processing information, but we're not actually experiencing life to a certain degree. Like when we were younger, maybe 20, 30 years ago, life was an experience. You went to the park, you experienced nature, you could climb trees, you could play with your friend, you could communicate, you could make meeting up without a mobile device. Now most people as well, they cannot survive without a mobile phone. If they've lost their phone, even me, I lost my phone twice. It's like your whole life has gone based on this electrical device. Now this electronic device is taking the place of your brain, because even if someone wants to know a word now or where something is now, they've got to use this mobile phone. It's replacing your brain, and you're being reigned over by this mobile. Bile is an end product. So what I'm trying to get across, or what I'm hoping to get across, is to start experiencing the life that you're living, the beauty that you've been given, this life that you're experiencing, breathing. Just even feel what, even if this week I was been putting ice in water, natural water. If you really taste what natural water really tastes like, you really experience, like, you wouldn't want to have no more Coca-Cola or fizzy drinks if you really, but we're rushing around so much, we don't really appreciate what our divinity has put in front of us. Is actually the best things for us is actually free. It's actually the air that we breathe, it's actually the water. If we started just drinking natural water, we would crash the whole of the addictive fizzy drinks in 1-2 months. We would make them bankrupt. If we just, the answer is going back to nature. When you go back to nature, natural, being natural, this is the way you will crash their system, because actually you've got to spend money for artificial products when you can actually benefit from nature and your natural creativity, when you can start creating your own clothes. Remember, we used to make clothes, and we used to have happiness when we made our own shoes, we made our own products. There's a beauty and there's a joy and there's a power when you define your own destiny in your own hands, and you don't have to rely on another man to give you food, to dictate how you think, to give you a car, to give you shoes, to give you toilet paper. Basically you're nothing but a enslaved animal, like a domesticated dog, if you can't define or create anything with your own mind.
Yes, Jammers, I was listening to you quite neatly there, just meditating and just listening the words of the meditating panic, you know. And you said something very what kind of resonate with me, that the old thing about being creative, you know. The reason why I'm saying is because it comes back to the Ngoza Sabbath, the 7 principles. One of them is about being creative. Mm-hmm. You know what? Practice through the Kwanzaa time in December. So what we need to do is revisit those principles and start practice them. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'd like to say it goes deeper than that, because a lot of people pray to God or divinity. They pray whatever word you want to call your divine entity. You pray to your creator, and you say your father. So if your father is the creator, you must be a creator as well. You can't be a man, because man means hands, somebody else's hands. You can't be a male, because male means wicked, like malice, malfunction, malady, malaria. You must be a creator, because you breathe in air and you put out carbon dioxide. So you relate with nature, because the trees need the carbon dioxide to function, and they give us the oxygen for us to. So we create the cycle of life. We are walking creators. Whatever you have in your mind, you can make it a reality, physically and psychologically and spiritually. We are born to create. We do not have a malady or a defect, because we've been created by a higher nature. It's just that we do not realize the power that we really are. When we look in the mirror, we're not seeing who we really are. We are born to create. We are creative beings, and once we start to recognize that fact, then we will zoom across to our higher potential nature. You know.
Absolutely right. And I'm glad you kind of touch on that, because one of the things we need to be doing is to be creative at all times. You know, never let money be an obstacle to stop you to where you want to go to. Use your creativity. You know. Yeah.
That's right, because basically if you're chasing money, you're always going to be chasing money. Everybody who's been great or achievers is they've created a product, or they've become a product that money chases them. Like, for instance, Bruce Lee, Messi, Muhammad Ali, Chris Brown, James Brown, even the president. When you are creative, poetry, plays, once you develop your higher nature by becoming creative, then money follows you. You know, don't chase money, because you'll always be chasing money. Become a higher performing person. That's all you have to do. Once you become you become a more valuable commodity once you start to value yourself. And valuing yourself is not putting a name brand of somebody else on you. That is valuing, that is already financing somebody else's name other than yourself. Beauty starts with yourself. It's in the word beauty. Be ought. Ought means self. Be yourself, because you are unique. Once you start to use the plastic surgery and, you know, the body changing, then you start to become somebody else that somebody else has put in front of you of how you're supposed to look. You start to take an app to put on appearance instead of looking like your parents. So once you're taking an app on to look like somebody else, you're denying yourself of your heritage, of who you are, your divine nature. You're actually disrespecting your divine nature and who you are when you take on somebody else's appearance. So the message I'm trying to get across today, I am getting across today, is start to realize that you are bigger and more powerful than even you even know. You have a divine, a higher intelligence that's working inside of you all the time. How you breathe, how you balance, how you coordinate, how your blood goes through, how your timing works at a high definition way that you can process information with your mind beyond what you can think you are doing. You can't even think or comprehend what you can do already. So you don't have to try and think or analyze what you can do already. You just have to let your inner self, give your inner self the chance to come out.
Right. Also, I got a text and a big up to Russ Minty. Big up yourself every single time. Russ McCord, big up yourself every time. Lady Leo, Sister Lynn, Pearl, big up yourself every single time. See? So
yeah, I've got to big up Russ Minty. Call me, man. Where are you? Big up Supreme. everybody in the team, Buzzy B, Theo, Lady SC, everybody's supporting what we're doing as well. Everybody, all the supporters, all the listeners. As we see on reparations, we don't need to wait for somebody else to make us great. We are great already. We make the mistake waiting for somebody else. We just have to recognize who we are and start to move how we're supposed to move. Leave all the addictions behind, because we're just following somebody else's design. We're following somebody else's mind. So basically now we have to stop following and start creating what you want to be.
What you want to be, absolutely. Yes, so again, I want to pick up all those, again, who's in the team. So many of them, and I feel bad because, when you're thinking there's so many, people like Dave, people like Sandra, Joanne, Maxine, all those. One big up the West Green Learning Center, Brother Erno, pick up yourself every single time. See? Yeah, so there's so many names we want to mention on this journey here, because it is a journey of great destiny, and part of the journey there's those who are backstabbers, who probably don't want to be on this journey for every reason, but it is what it is. But this is where you have to be strong and be focused and keep moving swiftly. Also want to big up my brethren, Dave, who's based down in Brighton, as you know, Sirius brother over there, Also want to big up Edison, Sirius brother out there, who spoke at we've moved to Umar Johnson, one of the top biggest speakers in the motivational side of stuff, and our brother Edison was among them giants there, yeah. So we can't forget who we are and the people who've been with us on this journey here. See, also Dawn from St. Anne's Library, big up yourself. Lyndon, big up yourself all the time.
Yeah, that's right. And if you can't see the signs, we're on the rise, so just join. We're on the rise at the moment. This is our time to shine, so if you just look around you and really see what's going on behind the scenes, there's so many hard-working individuals here now. So this is our time to shine. And do remember, you've got your young ones looking at every move that you make, and we want to set the standard for them to follow, so they don't fall low. So basically, it's all about our youth now. Our youth need examples to follow. I saw in the Evening Standards today, they had Tim Westwood and a drill posing with all these drill rappers, and one of them was been shot, one of them was stabbed to death. Basically, you look at Tim Westwood, you see he's promoting the gang, the drill rappers. There's none of our elders there advising the youth. So this is the problem that they're having, is they want to be successful, but they're not seeing examples of us to follow. So then they fall in the hands of people who are just using them and promoting their destruction. We need our elders to teach. We need to teach our as Linda Waters said, the school is in your home. We can't start giving our children away to the schools, because the schools just turn them into a fool or a mule. It's not showing them the real rule of how to rule. Once they're not, they've taken grammar out of. They've lost the understanding how words are put together, how to argue, and how to ask questions. So we now have to stop our children turning into fools and school them in the home.
No, I just was going to say, Tim Westwood. I met him at a personal development event.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Anthony Robbins. And I never forget this, but I didn't know who he was. Only when he mentioned his name, we was talking, but I didn't know. It's only after it clicked to me. Oh, that's Tim Westwood. Yeah, I met him at this personal development event. See, yeah, just for I mention that. So it's interesting when you say the kind of stuff he's doing. But you won't be surprised, James. Some of them on there, they listen to people like yourself and listen to what's happening, and and try to get themselves together, because some of them clued up, but at the same time they're playing to a system, into a game, a folly game.
Well, I'm not blaming any individuals, but I'm just saying if
no, I'm not saying blaming, but I'm saying wouldn't be surprised if they listen to people like yourself and other people. That's what I'm trying to say.
What I'm saying is none of us around the scene, because they like the hype. They'll take our children and like the hype, but they won't give them any guidance. They know how to make money. You know, they know how to make money of our youngsters, you know, but they won't give any guidance when if they fall, especially like in football. You know, if they don't match a certain standard, they're not going to give them no counselling and no support to find another career. They just throw them off like a conveyor belt. They're not looking at us as a people or individual or emotional or psychological. They're looking at us as a product. They're looking at us as a skill.
You know, son, and you're absolutely right with that. And we look at football, because football's a good example, as we're looking at people who, talking about these individuals in SoCal want to be famous, entertainment industry. And you know what's a fact, Jammers, right? And it's something that they discuss on TV, that those who say from they're young, say from they're 13, 14, and they become famous in the entertainment business, right? You know, as an artist, a singer, whatever, raps, right? And we look at them down the road, I'd say 20 years down, you know, a good 50% of them went through more than 50%, a good 6% went through a depression. Because what you find is that, because they're so used to being loved and the hype and you're great and everything, and when the rough time hit them, because like I said, they just use you, as the word you just use, right? Use you up now. You have no use for them, so they don't use that kind of hype no more, right? So the biggest buzz they probably have is just drinking and smoking and you see. So it's a good thing you mentioned, and a good example would be Elvis Presley, George Best. See?
Well, what it is, they've done a report.
Frank Bruno.
Basically, yeah, I like the way Doug has been getting their words in there. You should have seen the actions there. Basically, this is what happens. When somebody is successful, they stay mentally at that age when they were successful. For instance, I'll give you Michael Jackson. If you've been famous at 16, you keep that 16-year-old mentality. If you're famous at 25 and you keep that 25 mentality, you stick at that height. Your mind sticks at that height when it was, and you don't progress. So this is what happens with a lot of the stars. They stay at the age that they were successful at, and they can't move on from that time factor. And they can't cope from that time factor. You know, it's a study that they've done, that when you're successful, you stay at mentally, you stay at the age that you were successful.
Yeah. And what Jam is saying is absolutely true. You know, it's really I'm meditating upon it, and it's on point. You know, because the biggest force in life is pain and pleasure. Most people run from pain to pleasure, right? Let's look at something like Frank Bruno, right? Just examine Frank Bruno, right? Now, all his life, he wanted to be the heavyweight champion, right? And he achieved it. What's next, right? You know something? If Frank Bruno came to me, we was going through his little challenges, Jammers, right? I would have saved him. I would have said to Frank Bruno, set yourself another goal. If Frank Bruno come to myself and to Jammers, right, we would have said to him, Frank, you're very talented. Come work with us. Express your talent and your skills there, right? And he would have been saved. But what Frank done, he dwelled himself in the past, indwell himself in the problems and the challenges he was facing. All Frank Bruno had to do was set himself another goal. And like as Jammers said, we're so dwell in the present, right? In the past, you know, we can't see no further.
That's right, they keep us with like the Black History Month and the slavery movies. Basically, in an argument, when you go look into the past, that's when you blame. You cuss each other out, you blame, you don't move forward. So what they do, they perpetuate the past, the bad elements of the past, and then what you think about, once again, you make it a reality. Real argument is when you look at the past, you look at the present. The past is the blaming method, even in a relationship. Oh, you did this, oh, you did that. The past is the blaming side. Then you look at the present, means, well, what do you want now? How can we work it out now? And then the future is, let's put it into action. So this is how you're supposed to reason. This is reasoning skills. Reasoning skills is you look at the past, you look what you want now, and see how you can activate the future.
And it's interesting because why would you want to watch a lousy movie over and over again? You know, why? Why do you want to why do you want to watch a lousy movie? So what Jams is saying is that, I mean, what you're doing, you're bringing up the past, right? Right? It's like watching a lousy movie and just bring up the past over and over again. You know, the past is part of your journey. The question you ask yourself, right, what have you learned as part of that journey? See? Because everybody's got a different journey, but you need to learn from that journey.
Let me put it in you're going to work. Imagine you're going to work and you walk past a tree and you've got half an hour to get to work and you keep going back to that tree that you've walked past. You will never get to work because you keep going back to the past. You're not completing your journey. You know, so when you look back to the past, you stop moving. You stop going towards your destination. You know, so this is, you know, logically, you've got to move to accomplish a task. You don't keep looking. If you're running a race, like Usain Bolt was running a race and he kept looking behind him, he would run maybe off the course or he would fall over. You know, so you've got to, the past is relevant, but you use the past to create your own future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's quite powerful what Jam just said there, you know. Because there's no power in the world can bring back yesterday. I will give you £1 million. Anybody out there, anybody who can bring back yesterday, I'll give you £1 million right now. I have £1 million in a bank down central London, right? In fact, it's not my money still, you know, but we will give it to you. You know, I will send someone to go in there at night time, you know, and decode the code and give it £1 million if you can bring back yesterday.
And you've kept this is a key element that Dougie said. This is how they keep us hooked, and this is how we're not even seeing the trick. How we're keeping ourselves hooked on the past because we're glorifying that we was first to do this and first to do that, but I was the best runner in my school. How is that going to help me now? You know, we were the first people to create the writing system. How is that going to help me now? I bought the first pair of the latest Adidas trainers, but how is that going to help me now? So basically, yes, it's good to know that you were first back then, but how is it going to help you? What use has it got to you now?
And that's very powerful what Jam just said, because question to ask yourself is this, right? What are you doing now? Is either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution. And many of us are part of the problem. If you sit on the fence, you can be pushed from both sides and can be shot from both sides. A man who drives in the middle of the road is a very dangerous person.
And I like to. Another thing is when they give you a poor self-image of yourself, you're addicted to looking back when you was first back to stop you from doing anything now. This is one problem that we've got. We're addicted to looking what we've done in the past. The Malcolm X's, the Marcus Garveys, you know, the great inventors that we had. We're addicted to what we've done. We'll score points in arguments by recognizing something that happened years and years and years and years ago, you know. But as the Gregory Isaacs song goes, soon forward. But when are we going to move forward? You know, this is the addiction, the Black History Month that they want to keep perpetuating to us, is looking back. And when you look back, you don't go forward.
And you see, that's why it's very important, right, for us to look at these, when it's about re-evaluating, right, what we learn from the past and how we move forward. See? Because if you go to a doctor, right, what he does, he looks at your medical history, right, diagnose you, then he knows how to deal with you to deal with the problem, right? He doesn't keep on looking at it and say, well, yes, and yes. He's got to deal with it based on your medical history condition before he diagnosed you, and then move forward upon it.
If you go to a doctor and ask him to treat you to what you had last year, you'll never be cured. And that's what we're doing. We're looking back at what we done last year, so we can never come up with a cure. And I've got to go by that in. So, Doug, you've kept me over time. Great discussion. Once again, now stop understanding people's words and stop serving a sentence. Be free to experience your own reality. Boom, Dougie, excellent.
Yes. So, yeah, the reasoning just powerful. And like Jammer said that, I mean, it's really about really overstanding the words, because, you know, Jammer said
and
words.
Understanding as well.
And understanding, you know. See, because once you overstand and understand, see, you're able to deal with things. Because it's funny when they look at the psychology behind it. When the police boy come up to you and said to you, "Do you understand?" and you said to him, "Yes," that means you're under him.
I mean, you're standing under him.
You see, so
tread upon you,
and I'm tread upon you,
kick you down,
kick it down. You know, so we need to understand.
I'll give you a joke, Doug. I was in the Royal Court of Justice, and the judge or the barrister asked me what's my surname. I said, "Sir, I don't serve no sir. I'm not a servant." You want to see the look that they gave me? They had to put their heads down. So we have to overstand and understand the words that they put you in a sentence. But big on, big up. See you tomorrow at Inner City Crown Court, Dr. Abu, or see you at Sunday, the Speakers Club. Dougie, over to you.
Yes, and don't forget the Speakers Club this Sunday coming at the Bernie Grant Art Center, and it's gonna be a boom session down there. I'll play some more of my brethren there, Dave, and make him go on a thing.
Hello, mate.
Well, go on.
What day of the week is it?
What you ask me them question for?
I just wanted to know.
It's Thursday.
Oh.
And you know what I go on Thursday?
No, tell me, mate.
It's the Jam Master Show.
Alright.
On Bless Radio.
Nice one.
Things sweet like Jamaican mango. Put a G and a O that spells go.
Love it, mate.
Remember to turn on your radio and switch on your stereo.
Alright, I'm doing that now.
Oh, DJ Jammers, I play right now.
Cheers.